All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this from. This is Cobbs with the Parlay Parlor, and we're back with another day of NBA props, bets, and data. It is Tuesday, February 3rd, and we have another slate of NBA games. Let's do a recap of last night and yesterday. Not the strongest night again, by my circumstances in any way, shape, or form. I do want to apologize. I hope I don't come into a running track or trend of coming here and apologizing with the recap every morning, but let's be honest and let's just call things what they are. Past couple of days have been relatively abysmal for me. Yesterday, unless besides a season high night from Jaden McDaniels with 29 points and 4 rebounds, we would have had a negative sweep. The reads just weren't there. I guess for whatever credit that I have, Brandon Miller only had 4 points, but he had taken 11 shots in the first half. Miles Bridges wasn't that much productive either. And funny enough, I could have just taken the Hornets money line. Colin Sexton only takes up 5 shots the whole game. Points, assists, nothing across the board would have hit there. And like I said, Jaden McDaniels, if it wasn't a season high night for him, we would have been entirely in the red. So unfortunately, we do go 2-5 on the week. But enough of looking back into the past. We have 4 props today. I'm praying that I've brought these to you with sense. We're not going to ramble much today. Unfortunately enough, because when I watched over this last night, yesterday's episode, a lot of my rambles soared out the water. I had John Collins, I brought up Reed Shepard, VJ Edgecombe, Kelly Oubre, I think as well, 17.5 points and rebounds. And the fact that I just didn't take any of that is disappointing, but hey, you can't be right all the time. And if I just go back to last week, I'm not going to scroll up just to placate myself, but I know what I'm capable of doing, and hopefully I can prove that to you today. So with today's slate, we're going to start off with the Knicks facing off against the Washington Wizards. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to go for the Knicks first half spread. You can currently get this for relatively fair odds at minus 4 points. I have seen minus 5 points, 4.5 at plus money. Now it is at roughly even money. The prediction apps haven't gotten up there yet. FanDuel does tend to be ahead of the curve sometimes when it comes to these spreads, but when we look at other books, and all the books are available, just FanDuel and Hard Rock, they are weighing this pretty heavily in New York's favor. Of course, when we look at the lineups, Washington is healthy. They're probably going to be expected to go out with the same lineup that they did against the Kings. The idea behind this is, yes, New York is starting a road trip. The NBA is always weird to bet on right prior to the All-Star break. I honestly just think this is a spot that is advantageous. The Wizards should not have won last game. I know part of me is saying that to placate the fact that Bub Carrington didn't get his points and assists line. But when you look at the lineup that they played to close out the fourth quarter, they were doing everything in their power to give this to Sacramento. Currently right now, I think Washington has fell out of the top 3 spots in terms of, obviously there's the draft lottery, but in terms of the weight in terms of their finish, I think they're out of the top 4 now. Sacramento is actually leading the tank race. I think that while, Washington is going to go out with the same 5 that started last game, they're not going against a team that is the likes of the Kings. Honestly, I think the Knicks are in a good run of form. They played against the Lakers and they didn't blow them out, but they beat them. I did just make a cautionary glance over at the splits. It doesn't look the most compelling, especially when we look at Washington as a home team in the first quarter. They have covered 60% of the last 20 games, but honestly, when we look at some of these teams that have covered against Sacramento, Milwaukee, a banged up Portland team where Dani Avdija didn't do anything, Charlotte, Clippers, yeah, but they ended up losing that game, and it was a midday start. Uh, I think when we look at the spots where they've lost them, against the Lakers, against Denver, against the Clippers again, but that was an away game. Denver. But if we look at their home spreads, again, they're covered at 65%, but these aren't compelling teams that they're covered against. Orlando, who is always a topsy-turvy team when they travel, the Pelicans, who in their own regard aren't doing their best this season. Again, like I said, a midday matchup against the Clippers. Spots where they lose them, playoff teams, Lakers, Denver Nuggets, Minnesota, Cleveland, Atlanta's a perennial playing team, Boston, and a healthy Giannis Milwaukee team. When we look at the Knicks and the games that they covered us in away games, teams in the Eastern Conference that team to be playoff or playoff teams in general, they tend to not cover this in. The only time they have were against the Spurs, but in games where they did reach this point, wow, this really isn't enticing from a data standpoint, to be quite honest with you. This is what I want to give you. I mean, when I looked at the opening line for this last night, it was advantageous to me. I looked at it. I mean, honestly, we're looking at a total game spread of 4.5, 14.5. Well, it's gone down to 13.5 now. It was at 15 points last night. I genuinely do think that this is a team in Washington. While yes, they have a nice young developing core, they're going to go out there and have fun. Well, actually, when we break the splits up, instead of looking at home and away, when you don't finite the data that much, it's 50-50. They say it's a coin flip. I don't think this is a coin flip, honestly. Let's see when the spread was. Oh, you can't even do it like that. That's fine. Honestly, Knicks 4-point spread. I like it at 5 for plus money, to be honest with you. I'm not going to sit here and ramble on about it. Because if we just look at bars and graphs and we decide just to lean on anything that's always green or stay away from anything that's red, we get into spots last night where 3 players matchup looks very well, but when you boil it down, 2 players that play the same position and a rotational guard. So not the smartest. Let's take some risks sometimes. Yes, away team, but it's the Washington Wizards. I honestly wouldn't be mad if you take this at 4.5 with the plus money. I probably will. Lock it in. New York Knicks, 5-point spread. Our next prop on the card, we're going to go with Jamal Murray. We're going to take him for 30 points and assists. You can currently get this for fairly even money across all the books. Yep, I thought I saw some 31.5s, but it seems like it's good at 29.5. Main play is when you look at head-to-head data, just this season recently, Jamal Murray soared over this line. He had 34 points and assists. And funny enough, I think this is also a game of when you see this third prop on the card, you will understand the narrative for today. He had 34 points and assists, but he missed 3 free throws to potentially take this to overtime. He missed 1 free throw to potentially take it to overtime, or 2. I don't know the exact splits, but he missed some free throws, and I thought that if they at least had gone to overtime, Osher Thompson gets his rebounds, like I hope he will today. But in any case, in terms of the matchup, it is not the most compelling, I understand, but Jamal Murray does do good in hard matchups. When we look across the season, he is hitting this at a 62% clip. I did want to see if there would be any concern with him doing this with Jokic back in the team. Not really. I mean, the season splits dropped down to 58% with Jokic, and then I looked at it without Jokic. It was very, very enticing, actually, and still with Jokic on a minutes restriction, it goes up to 75% of games, but he's only played 12 games without Jokic, and he's had to take the bulk of the offensive responsibility for Denver. The main man is back, Nikola Jokic. He's still going to be on a minutes restriction. I mean, he's been out for a lot of games, but he wants to get that MVP reward, or at least make All-NBA honors at the end of the season, so I do not blame him. He's back. He is seeing more minutes, more utilization, and I do think that while, yes, we're going to see less of a responsibility on Jamal Murray from having to bear the shoulders of this Denver Nuggets offense, it's going to be in our favor because a lot of Murray's pick and roll play is with Nikola Jokic. I mean, of course, now he's an all-star because he's had 12 games to really impose himself, because he's always been a playoff shooter and someone who is going to give you in the low to mid 20s in points with average in a season, and mid assists, like 5, 6, 7, 8. But now he's an all-star finally. Long deserved, long overdue, many would say. In terms of the usage, he just had his worst shooting performance of the season against OKC, but credit to him, that is OKC. They are a hard matchup, but they are probably one of the hardest the second best defense to the point guard position. But he took up 16 shots, only made 4. They didn't make any of his 3-point attempts, so only made 1 3-point attempt. When we go back to the game against against Detroit, which is what I saw, he didn't make any of his 6 3-point attempts. These are two relatively, I wouldn't say that, I think they're outliers in terms of bad nights. And then if you look right afterwards, he soared over that line, got 2 threes, and he made 9 of his 16 field goal attempts, going back to 56% average. And we're talking about a player that shoots at a 48% average. If he is getting this, I'm okay with him having a bad night, especially when it comes to the defending champions. You're always going to see high minutes from him, even in a blowout. You're always going to get high 20s, low 30s, high 30s in a competitive game. This is Denver's second game back home after a road trip, a West Coast road trip. In that game back, they beat the Nets 130 to 70. So this might really be their first game back. I was initially trying to get myself behind the Nuggets on money line at plus 150, or even their spread, which is currently at plus 4.5 at relatively fair odds, minus 118. Just this these Detroit Pistons team is very good. They just won the last game in Denver. There could be a little bit of a revenge spot. Jokic is back, but still, the likes of Jalen Pickett and Spencer Jones aren't the most compelling for me. Yes, Jamal Murray did get over this line in the last matchup, and Jokic is back. We're still talking about about a Pistons team that is still ranked, I think, 8 and first to 8 in points and first in assists to the point guard position. But again, this is Jokic. This play is coming primarily down to Jokic, primarily on Payne Watson having great games. Jamal having a better shooting night than he did last night. He'll hopefully be able to facilitate. If we look at the props madness data, where he likes to do the majority of the scoring, of course, a flurry from Murray is always possible. Especially last night especially after last game when he only made 1 3-point attempt. We're going to see him want to impose himself and try to break that duck from above the break. He's always going to be an aggressive, creative crasher of the rim who's going to create his own shot. When we look at the defense of the Pistons to these positions, yes, when we look at the rim itself, so maybe him trying to go to the free throw line, it will be harder for him to get points that way, but we have the chance of getting fouled, especially when we look at my next prop in this. But when it comes to pull-up shots and from above the break, I do like it. Jamal Murray actually does pretty good in challenging matchups as well. I mean, of course, when we look at recent data, he does have to impose himself. If we look across the season in challenging matchups, when he's played a team and ranked first to 10th and in defense of the point guard position, he's gotten this out of 8 out of 12 games, and the only games that he's only gotten this blowout worst performance of the season from him against the Rockets. Again, relatively rough night for him shooting wise. It was a blowout. They lost by 14. He only made 4 of 13 shots. Against the Celtics, 8 of 18 shots. And was this the one that he didn't have that many assists in it, did he? Oh no, this is one that he had a career 9 assist. He had 19 assists, I think. 22, he had 17 assists. So when it comes to tough matchups, even without Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray imposed himself with Nikola Jokic back. 30 points and assists. I mean, this is under his season average, I think. Yeah, it's just under season average. Yes, the Pistons are a hard matchup. Yes, I'll admit that, but we've seen that Murray loves to impose himself on matchups like this. Like to take the brunt off the load, off the shoulders of Jokic. I think this will continue to be the same way. Jamal Murray, 30 points and assist. Let's lock it in. If you're still here after a rough weekend and a start of the week of chalking bets, I do appreciate it. I did get a couple messages from people yesterday. I do appreciate it. They mentioned that it sounded in my voice that I was out of it, and I wasn't proud of the product I was putting out. But again, there's variance in this stuff. Just like how I had a hot week last week, it might just be a down week. The idea of mine is if I go into every day, not with the idea of I have to make up what we lost. If you play these as straights from the start of when I did these videos, I should be in profit. You should be in profit. I like the parlay. I'm pretty sure you like the parlay as well, which is why you're watching a video at the parlay parlor. But I kind of have to beat myself once over the head about that, but I can't continue to do that. If I continue to play these at straights, especially at fair value, as I try to find them over the long run, the ingress will happen, and we'll get back into profit, hopefully. All right, after a semi-ramble, let's go off into a prop that, yes, the last time we took it, it did not do too well for us, but is some context that we can look into this. So we're going to go with Osher Thompson, 6 rebounds. It's not plus money this time. It's close to it. It's minus 114 on DraftKings. It is fairly priced across all the books. You're not going to get any 6.5, so you can, but then you're getting it at great value there. When we look at home data, this is a system play. I mean, it's a numbers play. He's hit this in 70% of home games. Head to head, we're not going to look at anything there because we know in the last game he only had 4 rebounds, but he only played 19 minutes because he had 5 fouls and he only had 5 rebound opportunities. So he's always converting this at a 80+% clip. I can't be mad at it. And what did I say after Osher was the only person to stop the sweep last Tuesday? I said if this play was provided to me 9 times out of 10, I'm taking this. I'm taking it all 10 times, and the one time that chalked, it's fine. We had the opportunity for that. It's a home game. Yes, they won the last game. When we look in terms of the usage, I mean, look, the only outliers that we have in terms of it is a high foul game, 5 fouls. Any other instance besides that, you have a blowout against the Kings. You have a loss against the Suns where he didn't do too hot either. So they didn't see that many rebound opportunities. But when we look at the Suns, this is a game where Devin Booker didn't play. So you have kind of Dylan Brooks, Grayson Allen, and friends. We have a healthy Nuggets team. I have a healthy Pistons team, a getting healthier Nuggets team. They're still missing Jamal Murray. They're still missing Christian Braun. And they're still missing Cam Johnson, but I don't think that really takes too much out of it. In terms of the matchup, obviously we're going to see Jalen Duren on Nikola Jokic. We're probably going to see Osher Thompson, their best defender, on the likes of Jamal Murray. Yes, this does kind of contradict what I went with Jamal Murray 30 points and assists, but he got it on him last game that they played with not that efficient of a shooting. And obviously maybe he wasn't that efficient because Osher got 5 fouls. Hopefully it's a cleaner night for him defending. When it comes to the supporting side rebounds, I think Nikola Jokic and Jalen Duren will be occupied in that presence. I was initially looking at Kate Cunningham rebounds, but at 6 rebounds, actually not 6 rebounds, it's at 4.5. Jesus, I was gonna say, damn, that's high. At 5 rebounds, yeah, but the matchup just isn't there necessarily. Yes, better matchup in terms of the data and the strength of it, but in terms of the role that they play, I can see Osher Thompson definitely being capable of keeping his hands to himself. If he gets high fouls again and chalks us on 4 or 5. He's banned. I hate to say that he's banned. I hate to use the terminology because variance comes into play, but that would be quite painful. When we just look at the rebound chances, he converts these at a high clip when he gets his full usage and minutes. Look at his expected minutes. He's hit this in 71% of games this season. Even when we look at challenging matchups, he still goes above this line. Only games that he doesn't do this. He gets relatively a fair amount of fouls. 3 fouls against the Rockets, 3 fouls against Charlotte, and this was a blowout against the Lakers, and 4 fouls, 5 fouls against the Nuggets. Again, system play. If he can keep his hands to himself, Osher Thompson, to get 6 rebounds, I have no doubt. I have no qualms against, to be honest with you. And then our last prop for today, we're going to go with Michael Porter Jr. Points and rebounds. We can currently get this at 31 and a half, or during 32s and a half. No, there's not, just 31s and a half. You can get this at 30 and a half. Even just down to 30 and a half if you want this to be in a parlay piece with maybe Osher Thompson 5 rebounds if you aren't too comfortable with taking him for 6. Play here is important data. I mean, the Lakers are the worst team and the 11th ranked team to defend in points and rebounds to the small forward position. I really hope you didn't hear me scratching my beard in the microphone feed there. It is early. I am trying to get this out with enough time for there to be some engagement. I do realize that maybe in the most recent videos I have just gotten these out with an hour or two to spare, which isn't what I've done in the past. Those are rushed, doesn't allow any engagement, and the only engagement that does show up, it doesn't show a good product. But less rambling. System play, volume play. I mean, Michael Porter Jr., the possession will end with him for better or worse. We are closer to trade deadline. He isn't on the injury report, so it's looking like he might not be used in any trade pieces or sent to a contender. Which I love, honestly. I think let this be a year of him just balling out. Let him just cook. Let him take as many shots as he wants. I mean, he's taking some disgusting shots. He's taking some brilliant shots. I mean, he's just doing everything. I mean, and he's shooting at a great rate. He's shooting at a 45% clip. And anyone that's averaging 20 shot attempts and he's shooting at 45%, I'm perfectly fine with taking the risk on the points and rebounds, especially when he's averaging 10, 11 rebound opportunities. He is coming off of a 48 point and rebound performance, but that was against the Nuggets in Denver. Real homecoming for him of sorts. We do have the Nets coming back home from a road trip, so maybe this is a little bit disadvantageous to us. But he didn't play in the last game when he got blown out against the Pistons. In the last game of that road spell. So I do see that he probably will come back into the lineup. It is projected that he's going to start. Noah Clowney will probably come back too. When we look at home games, which is an outlier that I like, he's hitting this at a great rate. He's hitting this at 60% of home games. Head to head, we can't really look at this because this is the first time that he's playing against the Lakers. And I do think there is a bit of a narrative where every game that Michael Porter Jr. has played, that is the first since moving on from the Nuggets, and now that he is the number one option, I do see that he has had, just look at it. Home games. But if we look at it in general, across the season, he's hitting this at a 63% clip. He's imposing himself. This is his team for now until he gets traded. In terms of the injury report, Noah Clowney's going to come back. Cam Thomas is still coming off of the bench in a minutes restriction, so I'm not that concerned of him taking any volume off of Michael Porter Jr. This is his team whenever he's on the court. I was trying to get myself behind Igor Drummond assist, but again, it's just too high and low for me to be comfortable with. Maybe Terrence Mann, but again, these aren't players that are getting enough of a usage for me to be comfortable with, and Terrence Mann doesn't have all his full lines available. So we're going to go with Michael Porter Jr., points and rebounds, where we look at the zones where he likes to score, likes to attack the rim, likes to take the most disgusting three-point attempts. The Lakers are the 9th worst and the 12th worst defense above the break and at the rim, respectively. With the volume that we're going to get in terms of when we look at the usage, he's getting 30% usage. He's above this in 66% of games that he's getting his regular usage in. When we look at favorable matchups, he's gotten this in all favorable matchups, good and bad teams. Let's just reset that filter. If we look at the minutes, if he gets his expected minutes, he's above this in 76% of games. While I don't think Michael Porter Jr. is going to get traded, I still think he's on the shop window. He wants to probably get out of Brooklyn, but he still might be enjoying this time cooking. He just had rest, so I don't think I'm too concerned about him unless it becomes a subsequent blowout. And the spread isn't that compelling. I mean, compared to the 14-point spread that we have over in Washington for the Wizards game, it's all about a 9-point spread. This is a Lakers team that either they'll make the spread or they won't make the spread. I mean, they're the best team in the clutch this season. For better or worse, they're undefeated in the clutch this season, I believe, actually. After a disappointing loss against the Knicks, they probably will win this game. That total of 222, honestly, I probably could see myself getting behind it. Brooklyn, this isn't a total that they don't tend to hit because they don't tend to score. They tend to get blown out. Let's not ramble. Michael Porter Jr., points and rebounds. Usher Thompson, 6 rebounds. Jamal Murray, 30 points and assists. And the New York Knicks, either 3.5 or 4.5 first quarter spread. If you're still here after all that, I do appreciate you taking time out of your day and trusting me, or maybe you've been fading me as of late, but at least using whatever context that I decide to spew to you over the past half hour for your betting data and betting knowledge. If you can like and subscribe, tell me what you're rocking with from today's card, what you're not rocking with from today's card. Help me make money. In any case, please gamble responsibly. Gamble what you're willing to lose. Have a blessed day, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Peace out.